Hallo, ik ben Janice en ik ben voor de gids in Transit Glasgow.
When you go, will you send back a letter from America?
Probably the last thing you'd expect to see in the centre of Glasgow are cowboys and cowgirls walking around in Stetsons and pulling out guns and having fast gun shooting competitions. But here we are outside the Grand Ole Opry, and that happens every Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So let's go inside and get some of the action.
Well, the Indian they call me the Marshal Dillon.
Now, is that a Western name?
It sure is, yes. He was an original marshal from the Texas area.
It seems strange in a way that country music should be so strong in Glasgow.
Well, the original country music came from Scotland and Ireland. It didn't originate in America. It came from over this country. And it's always been very, very popular here. This is the biggest country club in Europe, and here's the Glasgow's Grand Ole Opry, and they come from all over the world to be here. They come down from England, Liverpool, Nottingham, Leicester. They come up in busloads to be here.
And we also have shootouts, is that correct?
Shootout, yes, you'll see that later on, partners.
Do you use live ammunition?
Definitely not. Oh no, we use blanks.
And what do you do during the day?
We work with British Rail, work with the railway.
So this is a completely different lifestyle you have at the Grand Ole
Yeah,
Opry.
what's what we call an escapism. Gets you away from your work and it gives you something else to give you an interest. That's what they all do here. They come away from their working worries and come in here and enjoy themselves.
You never wear anything but that hat?
So just what I've got on, that's it.
So you don't dress up just for the night? This is what you wear all the time?
All the time, yeah, that's it. That's me dressed.
Is this your favourite kind of clothes to dress up in, as opposed to an evening dress, or
Yes.
you prefer this?
Prefer this.
Would you say you're a tomboy then?
Yes. A tomboy.
Have you always been like this?
Yes.
Are you ready? Fire! Jongeren, Eagle winner, and let's hear it, please.
Well, take it this way. Inside every man, there's something that they want to achieve something in life. They want to be engine drivers, they want to be pilots, they want to be various things. It's something that I always enjoyed as a child for the sea western shows. I love following up. In our days, we used to have a little series, like say Roy Rogers, Hop Long Cast, these things. And everybody has a dream of being something. I love to be in the same position as the person they see on the screen. To me, I fell in love with Western 35 years ago. And the music side of it, I've been in here 10, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. I am a country fanatic, and I'm very proud to be a country fanatic.
Well, we fish an inter-club competition in our region, and then for the whole country. At the moment, we are Scottish champions, so we're defending our title this year.
Many people would be surprised that you're able to fish in the Clyde. Has this always been the case?
Well, I've been fishing in the Clyde for about the last 10 years. And up until before then, I don't think it was fished very much, but it's much cleaner now.
And why is that?
Well, we think probably due to the industry, the decline of the industry. Certainly the fish we catch now are full of prawns and shrimps and things, which mainly on the mudflats on the other side. And of course they weren't there before because it was all polluted.
So do you think then that this is one good aspect perhaps of declining industry in the west of Scotland?
Well, obviously the fish like it, maybe the people don't like it so much.
Oh, the Clyde, the wonderful Clyde. The name of it thrills me and fills me with pride.
In a big country, dreams stay with you like a lover's voice across the mountainside. Stay alive.
Now that you're getting better, Mr. Young, well, sorry about that, we'll come back. I've got to apologise. We'll reduce your medication, Mr. Young.
What are you talking about, reducing my medication? I'm just after telling you that I'm feeling rough and you're talking about reducing my medication.
Well, the UB40 Centre is a group of people who are unemployed in the area. Due to lack of work in this part of the country, people have collectively got together and built up recreation for various activities such as drama, woodwork, fishing, chess club, and other opportunities to fill in their time during the day, as it can be very, very difficult due to being unemployed is a sort of depressing thing for most folk in this area.
Is it a way just of passing the time, or are you actually learning anything which might help you to get another job?
I reckon it's a way to improve your skills, you know, things like that, and develop, meet new friends, you know. Instead of being sitting about in the house for a long time, you go out and you get interest in life, you know.
How long have you been unemployed?
Well, I've been unemployed a couple of years now.
And do you think you'll get a job at any point in the future?
Well, I think it's going to be fairly difficult in this part of the country.
Why is that?
Due to the decline of the heavy industry, you know. Well, this Clydebank's a shipbuilding town, and the markets fell for building ships across the world, so it hits where heavy industry. You know.
Reads McClare, McCoist, Mackay, McLeish, McLeod, McStay, McCoist, Mackay, McLeish, McLeod, McClare.
What the hell do we care? What the hell do we care? How? What the hell do we care? For it's a grand old team to play for it's a grand old team to say. If you know, that's it. It's up to Glasgow. We don't care.
Who's your favourite team?
Celtic.
What do you think of Rangers?
Hate them.
You hate them. Why?
Just hate them because
They're bitter and everything.
They're what?
Bitter.
Bitter? About what?
Catholics. They hate Catholics and everything. So we hate Protestants.
So why should that have anything to do with football?
Because Rangers are Protestant. Celtic are Catholics. And Rangers don't sign Catholics. They're biased.
Glasgow is football.
Why do you think that is?
Glasgow is football. That's all it is.
Why should people in Glasgow be so interested in football?
Because we're the boys.
Nothing else to do.
I started it in Scotland.
I know, football came here. We started it.
Celtic started it.
Celtic started football.
Celtic started football.
No, they didn't. You shot.
They started the fighting and the drinking and the bongs in the park.
Hello, hello, we are the Bully Boys. Hello, hello, you'll know us by our noise. We're up to me's and Fenian bloods and the Royal Day. For we are the Scinteri boys.
Which team do you support?
Rangers, mate, Rangers. Rangers the best.
Why do you support them?
I've always been brought up to support Rangers and they're a great team.
It's where you're brought up. If you're a Protestant, you must feel support Rangers and you go to see them. If you're a Catholic, you must feel go and support Celtic. It's the way you're brought up. It's the way your father brings you up that way. He starts taking again when you're about 3, a lot of people. Just that's the way it happens. You work out a Rangers fan, you go and see them all the time.
What should religion have to do with football? Why is it linked at all?
Get back to that long ago. Just people filing, coming down here, staying in Glasgow. Just one side, the Protestants support Rangers and the Catholics support Celtic. Just goes through the generations. Dad's teaching you to support Rangers or Celtic, whatever way. Just you grow up to hate them.
Erskine loyal. What does that mean?
Erskine loyal to the club, loyal to Rangers, loyal to the country.
Why is it the Union Jack and not the St Andrew's Cross for Scotland?
I consider myself British and not Scottish. Well, I'm Scottish, but I'm British as well, you know.
Is that an important part of being a Rangers fan?
I think the majority of Rangers fans think that way. Majority of Rangers fans think that way. But there's a lot that don't.
Just to get back to the Queen, because she's British, you take the Union Jacks instead of St Andrew's flags.
So are you into the royal family? Are you a royalist? And has that got something to do with supporting Rangers as well?
No, it's just through Rangers. Anything in the royal family day, it's not, I don't like anything about them. Well, I like everything about them, but I wouldn't disagree with anything they've done.
Here. What damn do we care? What damn do we care? Oh, the South Side here. What damn do we care? For it's a grand old team to play for.
Rangers have got to do with all the sludge, right? And that's how they think, but it's got nothing to do with it. It's just scum.
Support an Irish club. Celtic are an Irish club.
Celtic is founded by the Irish, which is mainly Catholic.
And Rangers?
If you'd an Irish mother that stayed here for 35 years, is she Irish or is she Scottish?
Scottish?
No, she's not. She's Irish. My mother-in-law's lived here for 40 years. She's still Irish. Same with Celtic. If Celtic are here for 1,000 years, they'll always be Irish. Although they're in Scotland, they're still an Irish club.
Do you go to church a lot?
Yeah, every Sunday.
You do?
Yeah, every Sunday.
Which is more important to you, religion or football?
Religion. Football. Ireland. Celtic started a side to help the poor people. No money people. Celtic is a side for the poor people. Charity orientated. That's what Celtic is. And they look for the punters like us, who's working class and people on the dole, and that's what Celtic is. They're no shite like Rangers.
Are there ever any fights there between Rangers and Celtic supporters?
Constantly, all the time. It's always trouble.
After a Rangers especially, if I see Rangers win or Celtic win, occasionally Celtic win, but there can be a lot of trouble. Folk, it's just had too many drinks and they start getting upset and get carried away and fights start, things like that.
Like we were at Parkhead earlier this season, the first time we played them this season, and it was me and 5 of my pals walking up the road. We got attacked with about 30 Celtic fans, you know? So I got a bottle smash made, one of my pals got a bus slip, but they never came out too good either, you know? We've got a wee bit of blood on this flag for them there, you know? Some Celtic supporters blood, you know?
Hello, hello, we are the Bully Boys. Hello, hello,
you'll know us by our noise.
This is his first game going to the match. That's him, he'll become a loyal Celtic supporter now, Pally.
Celtic supporters, people through and through. Over and over, we'll follow you.
Do you think there's a big difference between the music scene in Scotland and the music scene in England?
Yes, I think so. Far more popularised in England. In Scotland, I don't think you'd get bands like us in Scotland. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Bands like us in England.
Why not?
Well, the folk music in England is different.
Does it have the Celtic beat about them?
No, well, the Scottish people have got a richer folk tradition, I think, than England. Perhaps.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think sure that comes through. I mean, you don't have Cayleys in England.
You know, people can go along, anywhere, like a pub, and you can just sit down if you've all got acoustic instruments and you play music to that. It's excellent. People can gather around. You don't have to be in a massive room where you're amplified and like everyone has to sort of stand back. Whereas tonight we were, but normally we do a lot of sort of pubs and things where we just sit around tables and play, and people can either get into it, if they want to, or if they don't fancy listening, they can just do something else.
Yeah. How many of you are unemployed?
5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. Yeah.
You got plenty of time to do your own thing. Like we just sort of play whenever we want to, really. We go out into the pub and enjoy ourselves. That's what it comes down to.
I think if everyone was employed, there wouldn't be so much music about. That's my own opinion, of course.
I think the more unemployed it gets, like the better it gets, because then the worse it gets, and there's going to come a point where people are going to have to do something about it. So in that sense, it is a positive thing.
It's a way of getting yourself a bit extra money and getting yourself off the dole without actually working.
Don't know extra money.
Glasgow is a city which has a long history of socialism and a strong involvement in the trade union movement. And right now I'm in the middle of Glasgow Green, and behind me is the People's Palace, which is a museum about the city. And in the dome of the museum, which we're going to go and look at, there are a whole series of paintings which have just been completed by a young Glasgow artist, Ken Curry, and those depict the trade union movement and the history of socialism in Glasgow.
Well, this one here is part of a triptych I'm working on about, it's called a Scottish triptych. And this one in the centre here is called Departure. And I suppose it's about the whole problem of people leaving Scotland because there's no work and there's no cultural sort of facilities there or any sort of growth of ideas. It's just a sense of Scotland being a bit of a desert for a lot of things intellectually and politically. In fact, if you look at this one here, there's a small bar at the very, very end of it. So this panel here is in that bar, if you like.
Right.
So in this bar is a kind of, this could be a bar in a town outside Glasgow, say like Motherwell or Coatbridge. But the central point here is this group of kind of rather seedy figures who are like kind of, semi-paramilitary type figures who are quite interested in leaving Scotland to go and do some killing for money, which is based on a story that a friend of mine who came back from Nicaragua told me about meeting Scottish mercenaries over in these places actually doing killing for money.
How did you develop this style, or why?
Well, because I think I felt because when I was at art school, the kind of what that was being done round about me, both in the art school with my fellow students and in the world generally, I found was inadequate to deal with the kind of issues that I wanted to deal with, like unemployment and in fact, all the major issues it faces in the present day. I felt that I had to develop a realist language in painting.
There does seem to be a trend of this kind of social, realistic work, if that's the right way of putting it. Do you think that that's because those people are motivated by the same ideas as you?
I think it's just because a lot of Glaswegians are sick of being told what to paint by people in London and how London always dictated the style. London and New York and all the big centres I think it's people in Glasgow just realise that it's time for them to make their own statements rather than slavishly imitating the art of other cities.
Do you think there is a growing divide between Scotland and England?
There definitely is a growing divide, and I think that more and more people in Scotland are beginning to think, and I'm not talking about politicians, I'm talking about just the ordinary people of Scotland are beginning to think more and more about the idea of Scotland's self-determination. I think that that's coming into a lot of people's thinking. I think they definitely feel they're getting a raw deal out of this present government. So there is a genuine divide.
But is there a culture for artists like you rather than for outsiders? Yeah. Is it a stimulating place to work from that point of view with exchange of ideas and so on?
No, Glasgow's a desperate place for that. You get stabbed in the back everywhere you go. Every bad you go. No, it's not as bad as that. No, it's not. There is a fraternity, if you like, but because it's a small town in many ways, it's sometimes too close, maybe. So everyone knows what everyone else is doing, and Glasgow's got no great tradition of intellectual debate, so there's not a lot of that either.
But does coming from Glasgow or living in Glasgow very much influence your work?
Yeah, I think you've got to have that identity. I think I do feel that identity of being a Glasgow artist and identify myself with the people of Glasgow and the community in the city. So I definitely describe myself as a Glasgow artist.
Scottish music isn't just something which is for the tourists. In fact, a lot of young people in Glasgow are very into it. And now we're going off in a taxi to the Riverside Club, where there are lots of ceilidhs most nights of the week. And I think we'll see a lot of young people learning to do the Scottish dances.
It's actually an attempt at a ceilidh. We're dancing, or learning to dance to traditional Scottish music. It's better than the disco, it's much more fun and it's cheap.
Usually at discos no one talks to you and it's very difficult to meet people, but here everyone just mucks in together.
It makes a big change from going to disco all the time and having to be dead trendy and dance only to trendy records and dance with the right people and things like that. And these kind of things, you don't have to worry about things like that. You just, there's a good dance, let's go and do it, and that's all.
If you go to a disco, you only dance with an individual, where if you come to a ceilidh, you're dancing with maybe a group of 10 people. Yeah. So you're getting to know 10 people rather than one individual.
Do you think that this Scottish music and the ceilidhs are going to become more popular in Glasgow?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the discos are burning out. Like, you've heard the music before and it's just, everything's getting back to the past, as is fashion, so eventually it's going to be ceilidhs more than discos, I'd say.
I think it's just young Scottish people sort of finding their roots again, and that's all it is. Because this was never made available. I mean, like, to be honest, these kind of ceilidhs didn't happen before. Maybe they happened 10 years ago, they would have been as busy then. But since they've actually started these ceilidhs, and it's through word of mouth people have started going, people have sort of found their roots again and went back to them and really enjoyed it.
It's 1 o'clock on a Saturday night in Glasgow, and this is a typical scene on a Saturday night. Here we are at Central Station, everyone's queuing up waiting for the taxis.
Friends, I've had a few.
What have you been doing tonight?
Enjoying myself. Great night.
What were you doing though? In the pub?
I was in the pub having a night with my friends. It was great.
Are you from Glasgow?
Yeah.
Think it's a good city to be in?
Beautiful. I'm tickled pink. I'm tickled pink. The people in it is brilliant. Look at them. Look at the people in there. They're great.
Soonest, there's only one Graham Soonest. One Graham Soonest. We've only one Graham Soonest. All together.
Bob.
Arven no more, bath no more.